So here is my Lego library. This is a large bookshelf that contains a lot of Lego books and Lego fan books. Any books that I can find that are related to Lego go in here. Actual have, you know, tougher binding than just staples, with the exception of a few, but I'll get into that. The two bottom shelves in here are actually for Lego board games, and it's been moving around a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to touch upon that here. This middle shelf of the entire bookshelf cannot be moved the way the others can by height, so I have a lot of the larger books put in here, whether it's a larger spine or just a generally larger size book. If it fits here better than the other places. And then a couple in there that probably could go elsewhere, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out eventually. Um, then we have, this one has some things like the visual dictionaries. The one above it has character encyclopedias, the Brickmaster books, the Klutz books, the Yoshihito Isagawa books, the Technic ones, the essential guides. So they're actually more organized in here. Top one needs a lot more work. A lot of different books in here, a lot of different sizes to them, and some of them have to go down to the other shelves below them. I will say it is getting to be cramped. Some of the books might actually move out of the bookshelf entirely. There's like this whole section of Bionicle comics I might want to move out of here. Not sure yet. But if I do need to move things onto another bookshelf, that could be a problem. Like if I have enough books for another bookshelf, which is actually rather soon. I haven't even have a couple other books sitting on the floor here, so I got to work on that. But the thing with this is, if I move around things just right, I should be able to keep most of this here on the same bookshelf. I might have to move the board games or something elsewhere, which have already been kind of a jumble as it is. So yeah, we got a whole bunch in there. There's no completeness at this moment for those collections. There's Ninjago cards up here. There's a whole bunch of trading cards in this binder. There's just the big gap that you saw before in the video. And briefly going through this, because I've shown this once or twice before on video. You got Nexo Knights. You have Knights Kingdom cards, trading cards that came with the sets, sometimes came in the magazines. You've got Bionicle cards. I have a whole bunch more of these I haven't sorted yet. I just have them in a separate box or two. You got the ones from McDonald's, which I actually have the bag for it, because of course I do. Then we've got ones from Orient Expedition. These also came with the sets. And then after that, it becomes Pokemon. I would like to do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection binder at some point. It's too much to put into this one, even though it's not as many Pokemon cards as that. It is still a whole bunch either way. I don't think they would fit in here for, a couple more pages or so. This is a pretty thick book as it is. This one's actually organized a bit by, you got the trainer cards, you got the energy cards. For those who remember the Pokemon trading card game, I think they still have it, actually. I haven't really played it in a long time. Every once in a while, I pick up some of the new packs just because there's a certain older Pokemon I was looking for in there. And curious if they change up the artwork. I like the artwork probably the best out of these at this point. No, I don't have a holographic Charizard. That's fine. These are actually organized by the releases. So, like in the first Pokemon game, how they're organized in that game. Generation 2 and 3, still need to work on those. I would love to complete Generation 3. I have Generation 1 complete. Tentacruel was the last one I needed, and I was so happy to have found it. I was happy enough that I got a whole bunch of these Pokemon trading cards. I mean, I grew up with a lot of them, but I also had a good amount of the ones to complete the first generation traded with somebody for Lego Dimensions packs. That was it. That was not too bad. I think I did okay there. The other binder over here has a couple more personal things. Already on the front of it has a program guide, but inside of here are about the letters from you guys. So letters that you sent through SigFig Trades, any fun community related stuff over the years. What's this one? Oh, that's about the setup of one of the conventions. This part needs to be fixed. I might actually move this all into a bigger binder because I have more stuff to add in here, and this binder's kind of falling apart, so I want to keep it in better condition. But yeah, letters are in here from various people, business cards from places I've shopped at or taken an interest in, ones I've seen at conventions and whatnot. There's even some photos in there, which are pretty nice. So yeah, I will try to make a better binder for this one and update that in the near future. There's also a couple other interesting things here. There's another Brickmaster. It needs to go up there. This letter is actually pretty cool. Lego Mail. I talked about this one a long time ago on the main channel, Maniac for Bricks. But I tried to send in a letter with photos about something I would like to see. This was basically my version of we want a Lego monorail, but I didn't know Lego already made monorails. This was around 5th grade, I believe. Yeah, 2005, so 5th grade. I sent in a letter to Lego at their Connecticut address, and this printer paper. Oh, it still gets me to this day. It's so glossy, and just look at that penmanship. It actually responded pretty quickly. It was 11/8 and 11/28. Yeah, only like 20 days difference between them. Not bad. I was 10 years old. I didn't know how this stuff worked. And they had a very thoughtful letter that they wrote back. I mentioned all of this on a separate video. I'll try to link that down in the description below. Or you can find Lego letter on Maniac for Bricks, the main channel, to get more in detail about this. But yeah, I keep that around. I thought that was still very cool to get a letter back, a response from customer service. Somewhere around I have a letter from Mars Inc. because that was part of an English project. But I'll have to talk about that some other day. There's a couple other things in there. There's like a little Lego folder I got at one point because there's so many Lego stationery stuff. It's insane. There's also another sentimental thing here. I talked about it on a video before. A Lego photo book. And this was using a Pokemon camera. That's why it has the framing. It builds in the framing when you take the photos, which I thought was actually pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot here. I still have a bunch to go through. As I mentioned before, there's still more things to add and rearrange. So that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this look, and hopefully I'll update it sometime later.